Good people, if you've not heard about this name, Xdobo, this is a company that makes audio devices best known for their Bluetooth speakers. And if you read under this speaker down here, it says we have sold 1 million pieces globally for our masterpieces X8 and X8 version 2. And friends, this here is the X8 version 3. Let's take a look at it.
Over here, ladies and gentlemen, we can see that the Xdobo X8 version 3 comes packed in this box written that it's the deep bass soul leader. And you can see some quick specs on this other side of the box: 60 watts, deep bass, true wireless stereo, IPX7, Bluetooth 5.3, and so on. Let's take a look at what we find inside the box. So first, we're greeted with these cables. We do have a TRS to TRS audio cable that you could use to connect some sources to the speaker. Next, we have a Type-C to Type-A cable that you'd use to charge the speaker up. Here we have this big sheet of paper with a bunch of instructions and details written in various languages. So yeah, you do well to go over these. But for now, this goes over to the side, and let's take a look at the speaker itself. And this is it, the Xdobo X8 version 3. It actually does feel quite heavier than you would imagine by just looking at the size of it. Over here at the front, you can see the Xdobo branding. And at the top here, we do have some buttons with the icons printed quite nicely on the speaker. We can see on the sides here that the speaker does come with some hooks that you'd use to what now? Attach a strap? I'm not sure. And we do have under this cover, waterproof cover, some ports. And that is it for the speaker.
Okay, now if the brands that come to your mind when you think about Bluetooth speakers, portable Bluetooth speakers like this is Sony, JBL, Bose, and what have you, I can assure you that Xdobo falls in that ballpark. I know that Chinese brands can be a hit or miss, but Xdobo has been known for making quality stuff. So let's take a look at the version 3 of the popular X8 from Xdobo. Okay, first let's check out the connectivity we have over here. We see 4 ports in here. First we have the USB Type-C. This is used for charging, and that's nice because you see the charger that you use for your phone and so on could be used over here. You don't have to carry anything different. Then we do have a micro SD port. If your music is on a micro SD, just slide it in here. You're ready to go. We also do have an audio jack 3.5 millimeters, so you could connect any device through a TRS cable, a phone, what have you, that can just, plug in wired. And we do have a USB type A port, and this would be for like your flash disk and so on if you have music stored in such media. Next, let's check out the buttons that we're provided with up here for the input, and these buttons feel quite clicky and nice quality. They are those flash buttons that you don't actually see the button, but you can just press on the icon and it feels quite nice. So once you get the speaker out, the first thing you need to do is to turn it on, and that is done by long pressing the first button over here. You can see that there's a nice RGB ring right here at the top. I think it's the new vibe that Xdobo is going for with their version 3 of the X8. Then you need to connect the speaker via Bluetooth, so just turn on Bluetooth on your phone. The device will most likely go into pairing mode, so what you need to do is just select it on your phone and pair. And yeah, that sound is the connection sound. So this is already paired to my phone. And by the way, the first button here also brings up your voice assistant, so like Google Assistant. So when you short press it, you can see over here on my phone that Google Assistant comes up, and yeah, it's recording whatever I'm saying. That's interesting. So the second button here changes some quality of the voice, if I may call it that. By short pressing, you kind of turn on some frequency quality, like some bass and so on. There are like 3 profiles that are provided. You can just, play with them, find out what suits you the most. And long pressing this second button for like 2 seconds actually serves like an input selector. You can switch between whatever input methods you have connected, be it USB, auxiliary, that's like the 3.5mm port, or the micro SD card. Now the third button here controls this RGB ring. You can turn it off if you'd like, or just change between some different kinds of patterns. Then there's this one interesting little icon at the end, which you might wonder, what's that for? This Bluetooth speaker, Xdobo X8 version 3, supports what we call TWS, True Wireless Stereo, which means that you can have a stereo sound, which is sound from like 2 different sources, left and right, instead of a mono sound from one source. You can even connect this with another speaker that supports TWS, even the Xdobo Rainbow that I'm going to be looking at in the next video. So stay subscribed or hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so you don't miss that video. So if you have 2 of these speakers that support True Wireless Stereo, you can actually press this button and you enter this pairing mode, and that way you can get them connected, so you have this and another speaker working as a stereo pair. So you can have this like on the left and the other one on the right of your desk setup or what have you. Interesting, right? Okay, now let's talk about the sound quality of the Xdobo X8 version 3. There are 3 important things that I'd like to point out when we talk about sound quality. I'm not going to be recording the speaker, so you play it back through YouTube, through your phone, through your headphones, whatever. It's not going to be giving you the correct impression of what to expect if you get that speaker for yourself. Now, it's better for me to describe what the speaker sounds like, so you guys can get a feel of what I feel. Okay, the first thing is the volume and clarity. Now, this is a 60-watt speaker. 60 watts of power would basically like fill such a room, It would give you a nice, good listening level if you are like in such a room. You don't expect to use this for a party. You don't expect to use it like the main speaker in like your whole house, You could if it's quite quiet, but this is nice for like, an indoor scenario. You're alone somewhere, maybe in an office doing some work, just listening casually. Actually, someone like myself would make quite good use of this speaker, because us doctors who operate in theater normally listen to music while performing the surgeries, and we use these kinds of speakers. And by the way, even at maximum volume, this speaker remains quite nice to listen to. There's no distortion. Next, we're gonna be talking about the quality of the sound, like bass, mids, treble. So when we talk about the low end, size matters. That's just the truth. For that speaker, at that small size, I can tell you that it punches way above what you would expect from that size. I'm talking in comparison with the Oraimo speaker. If you guys have been watching my channel that I featured at some point, that Oraimo speaker is the same size as this speaker, but this speaker blows it out of the water 100 times. When you talk about bass, you can feel the bass punching out of this speaker, and it's nice, soft, smooth, and not just muddy, And for the mids, because that's what you hear mostly when you're listening to like dialogue and so on, it's clean, clear, good enough. The trebles are not too high, too sibilant, too sharp. They are just fine also. On an overall scale, this speaker scores not less than an 8/10 as far as sound quality is concerned. I'm sure you'll enjoy listening to it. So guys, finally, the question remains, do I recommend the Xdobo X8 version 3? Absolutely. For only about 9,000-ish Kenyan shillings, that's cheap. For what you get here, this is a speaker you're going to be listening to for years, and this will serve you well. I even forgot to mention that this USB type A port over here can even be used as like some sort of power bank. So guys, that is it for today. Thank you for watching, and thanks to Xdobo for sending over this speaker for review. All opinions, as always, are my own. They're not like paying me or influencing whatever I say in whatever way. They are watching this video together with you guys. So yeah, have a nice one. See you in the next one. And as always, no pressure.